Hey everyone, welcome back to My Crypto World. As always, if you like the content, please give us a thumbs up. It'll help our Google ranking and our YouTube ranking. If you like the content, why not subscribe so you can get notified every time we drop a new video onto YouTube. Today we're going to talk about, again, everything crypto and blockchain related. Today though, we are going to be covering a story regarding XRP. We're going to be having a look at Cardano and how it wants to scale to 1 million transactions per second. We're also going to talk about what Kevin O'Leary thinks regarding the FTX collapse, and we're going to have a look at the future of digital ownership through the Theta network. All that right after this. Okay, so we've got a couple of good stories to go through today, so let's get into it. The first one, obviously a story that we are looking at or have been following on this channel very closely, is the XRP and Ripple lawsuit. The XRP price has soared 10% as the judge approves the amici briefs in the Ripple versus SEC suit. And the article goes on to say that after a week filled with uncertainty for most of the cryptocurrency market, obviously relating to the FTX collapse, some assets are starting to show signs of recovery, with XRP leading the charge as it gains more than 10% in one day, influenced by positive developments in the US Securities and Exchange Commission SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. It goes on to say that notably XRP's recovery arrives at the heels of District Judge Annalisa Torres granting motions to file amici briefs with the legal battle that the SEC is waging against Ripple, which the regulator accuses illegally issuing the XRP token. Meanwhile, Coinbase is the first to follow the judge's order, already filing support of Ripple's fair notice defense, as Philin highlighted in a separate tweet on November 15. It's really interesting this. I mean, if the SEC really got off its backside and instead of worrying about what is a security and what isn't a security, and started looking at some of these crypto exchanges that have collapsed over the last couple of years, we might actually have a safer and more stable crypto economy right now. But that is not the case. On top of that, Cardano is going to scale to 1 million transactions per second with Hydra for micropayments on the ADA blockchain. Now, this is absolutely huge. If you can imagine a blockchain doing 1 million transactions per second, that is just incredible, to be honest with you. The article goes on to say that Cardano introduces Hydra as a payment developer tool on its blockchain. The team has implemented the tool to help solve scalability issues on the blockchain. We've covered that off in our previous articles. The ADA blockchain is expected to carry out over 1 million transactions without any significant increase in fees, which is very important, and processing time, which is probably the second most important thing. The processing power of the main chain, which is layer 1, will be improved. In addition to that, Cardano will make additional upgrades to the processing time on the off-main blockchain, which is layer 2. The two upgrades will foster a network performance, higher throughput, and low transaction processing costs. Hydra will serve as a platform where the users can access micropayment on the Cardano ecosystem. It will serve as a light wallet for developers to continuously build products that can benefit users. Hydra will reduce the operating costs and increase the throughput of the Cardano network, and Cardano will accommodate various sets of wallet providers, ensuring that onboarding developers experience a familiar setup. So they want everything to sort of become standardized, which is a very good thing. In the future, Hydra will integrate the basic back office interface that would provide access for light wallet providers, and these providers are required to maintain their own Hydra head service, inspect their node infrastructure, and scale operations. They can also offer such a service to other providers. Finally, the article closes off by saying that Hydra will possess amazing payment features, which will be highly beneficial to the Cardano space. The platform will be open source and easily accessible. As stated earlier, the payment infrastructure interface will be familiar to developers without any required technique. Now, I'm not a programmer or a developer, but I would imagine that means that if you know some basics, you're going to be okay to be working on that blockchain. Hydra will be extremely fast and straightforward to use. It is also redesigned isomorphic design. I actually don't know what that means, but it's got to be code for something. For developers wouldn't understand what that is. Currently, Hydra Payments Toolkit is under development, of which two perspectives will coexist. The technical fundamentals will maintain the trust, security, and correctness of the Hydra Head protocol. In parallel to this, there will be a feature that would improve light wallet developers, operating cost, ability to monitor the infrastructure, and enhance their users' experience. Now, it doesn't really give you any guidelines as to when this is actually going to happen, but it does state that Cardano hopes to implement more enhancements to the protocol in 2023. The team may switch back to its initial implementation using star-shaped head network topology if validation of the new features persists. Cardano is open to feedback, discussion, and contributions from the community regarding the Hydra toolkit. That does not surprise me that Cardano is open to that type of feedback. Charles Hoskinson is a very open-minded person, and he's certainly switched on when it comes to blockchain technology. Cardano, look, I've said it on this channel a million times. It's certainly one coin I'm holding onto in my portfolio. Again, not financial advice, but if you're looking for something to get into, a blockchain or a alternate coin or a layer one solution, Cardano is. I would suggest you go and do your homework, and you'll probably agree with me, I would imagine, on where that project is going. Second last is Kevin O'Leary. The FTX collapse is a turning point for the industry and that the bottom is in. Now, we've covered the FTX collapse recently in probably the last 2 or 3 articles. It's always good when somebody who's more notable than I am comes out and says the same thing. I've mentioned before that I felt that the bottom was in, and that when we had a look back probably a week or 2 ago, not just at the total market cap, but also a lot of alternate coins in the market, a lot of them were just sitting nicely on a support and resistance line, and that gives me great strength, or great, maybe it makes me feel less riskier in the market than what I was previously before that slip had happened. Anyway, this article goes on to say that Shark Tank star Kevin O'Leary, who's also known as Mr. Wonderful, has investments in FTX, or had investments, we should say. Following the collapse of the crypto exchange, he said it's a turning point for the industry, emphasizing that the bottom is in. He's now pushing for crypto regulation, and what he's going to be doing is going to be flying to Washington, and he wants regulation, and he wants it now. So do many of us. O'Leary has openly said that he has got an equity stake in the cryptocurrency exchange and has signed or had signed a multi-year deal to become its ambassador and spokesperson. He also asked for his compensation to be paid in crypto and managed on the FTX platform. So he would have lost an absolute bucket of money in this deal. When asked about his reaction to the implosion of FTX, he told CBNC, obviously one of frustration, there's no question about it. I'm disappointed like many shareholders. It's not the first time I've made a bad investment, probably not the last time, but luckily I made more good ones than bad ones, and I learned from my mistakes. As an investor, he goes on to say, you never get it right every time. You'll make some mistakes, sometimes big ones like FTX. The key is to learn from them so you don't repeat. Over time, experience will get you to a place where you have more good investments than bad. The crypto bottom is in. You always need a big player, he goes on to say, to go from a hero to zero. He doesn't actually say that, it just says go to zero, but I'm paraphrasing here and adding some words in. It always gives you a good bottom when you get a large player over leveraged that goes to zero, and that's always tends to be the beginning of the rebuilding process. And that's exactly what we reported on here last week. What's going to happen now is there won't be another situation like this for institutional investors ever again, O'Leary exclaimed, adding that the institutions will not invest until the industry gets regulated, whether it's by the Securities and Exchange Commission or other regulators. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be flying to Washington, and I want regulation. I want it now. No more delaying. I think this puts tremendous pressure on the SEC. Despite making losses in FTX, O'Leary is not deterred by buying more cryptocurrencies, stating, I'm still going to invest in crypto. I've lost money. It doesn't stop me from buying more. I'm going to just do that. It's actually a turning point for the industry and a maturation for this industry. So really positive news for somebody who keeps his finger on the pulse far more than what I do, that's for sure. Finally, some awesome news from Theta. Ownership is the future of digital entertainment, says a blockchain executive. The article is quite long, but I'm going to go through it all. Web3 is uprooting traditional entertainment industries with a new way of creating and engaging with digital content. The industry has already seen non-fungible tokens or NFTs display the potential to transform how television scheduled programming can be created. Increased metaverse activity began challenging artists with new possibilities for performances and connectivity with their fans. All the user cases of Web3 technology upgrading the future of digital entertainment include one key component, and that's ownership. Ownership is the one thing defining characteristics that distinguishes Web3 activity from its predecessor, being Web 2, which we're all used to at the moment. Cointelegraph spoke with Mitch Liu, who's the CEO of the media and entertainment-centric blockchain, Theta Labs, on what users can expect in the not-so-distant future of digital entertainment. Foremost, ownership redirects power back to the users actually engaging with the content rather than a few powerful platforms. Liu highlights that specifically with tokenized economics or economies for entertainment businesses, both users and platforms benefit. For platforms that embrace Web3, they gain new ways of monetization at a time when the margins of Web 2 business models are shrinking. This comes at a time when competition within the streaming industry is driving turbulent results for service providers, according to recent reports. Performers such as Paramount Plus and Disney saw an increase in the subscribers last quarter. However, stocks dropped as much as 9% for the latter, and the earnings both fell short of official estimates. Liu says that streaming wars lead to higher costs for users and more ads. Instead, he suggests platforms need to adopt to a new business model which highlight user experience, that this comes through ownership. The key, he says, is to give the users and fans a say rather than have every decision come from the top down. Decentralized economy and user ownership can be built into metaverses from the ground up. According to a recent DAP Radar report, metaverse and blockchain gaming projects combined or cumulatively raised $1.3 billion just through quarter 3. So think about that for a moment. The crypto space is in shambles. People have lost a lot of money, yet it's still gaining traction and raising funds. So what you see on your charts, what you see in your portfolio balance sheets is not necessarily always reflecting of what's actually happening in the industry. Despite all the FUD and all the bad news out there, the industry itself is still getting billions of dollars coming into it for research and development. So again, it's just read between the lines. It's all very positive. I know everyone's probably hurting out there at the moment, but this crypto technology and crypto space is certainly not going to go away anytime soon. That's it for today, guys. So some good news articles there regarding Theta, regarding Cardano and XRP. We will see you in the next one in a few days' time. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. If you like the content, please give us a thumbs up. It helps Google and YouTube rank us. If you like the content even more and you want to subscribe, that'd be great as well. And you'll get notified every time we drop a new video onto the YouTube. We'll speak soon. Cheers.